Welcome to Art by Travis. Today I'm just going to sketch out something for a project that I'm about to do with Inktense. But right here what I'm doing is I'm using a water-soluble graphite pencil. And the reason for that is just for the namesake that it's water-soluble. And when I paint on it, it's not going to stay there. If I sketch this out in just graphite, then that's going to be a problem because you'll still see the lines underneath it, whereas with this it's just going to dissolve away. The Inktense that I'm going to use, the paint, is made by a company called Derwent, and it's not really paint. It acts kind of like watercolor, but it's not watercolor. It's actually ink. It's water-soluble ink. So you can kind of use the same principles as watercolor, but it's a lot less forgiving as far as flow and coverage. But then in other areas it's a little bit more versatile because it's permanent, that you can blend certain things a little bit easier. Like you can go dark first and then go over it with lighter colors. And you can use white to cover it up, whereas in watercolor that's not really all that possible. Here I'm just sketching out the basic shape here, the main, and kind of getting the composition how I want it on this paper, which is Arches 140 pound watercolor paper. It's not my favorite, but I would say it's my second favorite. I would usually use Rubens 140 pound also, hot press. But this works. It's a little bit smaller sheet. I'm making a lion, so I don't want to make it real big. It's just something that I'm just doing for a project leading on to bigger stuff. So in this preliminary thing here, I'm not really all that concerned about it being perfect. I just need it to be in the ballpark, because where it's going to count is when I paint it. This is just to give me a general idea of where I want my lights and darks, and that's what I'm sketching out now around the eyes there and things like that. And before I even start, I'm going to erase a good portion of this so you will barely be able to see it. But for this demonstration, I'm just showing you that how it is I go about setting up a project like this. Just getting the general sense of it. Like I said, it doesn't need to be perfect because it's not going to look anything like this. In the picture, there's going to be some trees in the background and so just minimal. But for the most part, the better part of the picture is just the lion. I'm sketching in where the mane is going to go and the ears. You see, I had to move them a couple different times. I'm using a kneaded eraser to get it off there rather than a rubber eraser, which is going to erase part of the paper. The kneaded eraser works a lot better. And just going over some fine lines that I'm going to hit with a liner brush, stuff like that. So as you see, I'm not tracing it. I'm definitely drawing it out, and then I'll paint it out later. I'll make that in the coming episode. But I just wanted to show you my process of how I get started here. I'm not making duplicates, it's one, so this is a one shot. And being with its ink that it's permanent, then it's one shot. There's no redo on it. If I get it wrong, I get it wrong. If I get the colors wrong, I get the colors wrong. It's simple as that. So here I want to have at least enough of a general idea. I know where I'm going, so I feel confident going forward. Just about done here. See, I'm showing you my pencil, my kneaded eraser, and there's a close-up of it. And I'll catch you next time. Art by Travis.